What's going on, Cancer? I salute the divinity in you, and welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and how are you feeling? The moon's in Virgo, and I find that this is great self-care time. This is the time to just dip back and to just do some lovely rituals for yourself. I'm getting real kind of Empress vibes sometimes when I think about the moon in Virgo, but we'll get into all that here in a moment. But if you're new here, again, my name is Justin, and know that when you're coming across this video, you're in sync with the moon, and she loves that. But this is also a place for you if you happen to have Cancer in your placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, maybe Mercury, wherever. This one's for you. And I do tarot cards, friends. Based on that lovely luminary, the good old moon I saw the other night. I was coming up the stairs, getting ready to go to bed, and I saw there was a light streaming on the staircase. I was like, I know that's not the queen. Maybe greeting me, and it sure was. Oh, it was lovely. The moon was in Cancer. Love that. But I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void of course, which we got about little less than a month now. All those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what fits into your story, discard the rest, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Because we're feeling good. Feeling, you know what? Feeling inspired. I got an idea, decent idea that just came through the other day. So I'm gonna be, you'll see, you'll see. I think you'll like it. But I'm gonna pull for your general energy today while I talk about this stuff here. But before we get into all these lunar shenanigans, depending on when you're watching this, happy Mercury Day. And I love this Mercury Day when we got the moon in Virgo. But Mercury is associated with Wednesdays. And I find that, thanks, Spirit. But I find that Mercury days can really be a great time for doing any sort of like studying. If you have any sort of like great day to just like pull out a book, do some like nice reading, I think is a great time for absorbing information. A great time for being curious, a great time for communicating, whether this be maybe you have a speech that you want to give around this time or maybe some sort of presentation. Explore the different hours too. Maybe try Mercury Day during a sun hour when you're shining brighter. Maybe you're during a Jupiter hour when you're feeling charismatic and whatever your relationship with Jupiter is. But that's some things that I could be a great day for like little short trips, just kind of going around, maybe around the neighborhood, maybe going to the park, things along those lines. Do all those kind of mercurial things. But I find that, even for divination, Mercury is great for this like symbol interpretation, pattern recognition. So even just like journaling would be a great energy, I think, for Mercury. But yeah, there's a divinatory aspect to Mercury too that I don't think gets talked about enough. That's really fascinating, and I think that like getting into like meditation, prayer, communicating with the divine, since the Mercury is always hovering around the sun, which is our divine light. So just some things to think about. But one other little nugget to ponder is one thing I like to do during these days is to reflect on my relationship with with Mercury and with my Mercury placement. What house do you have Mercury in? What sign do you have it in? Is it direct versus retrograde? That could be another important thing to pay attention to because you come across it more than you think. I know quite a few people who have Mercury retrogrades in their chart. And yeah, just what and how do you like process Mercury transits and things? Mercury's actually been doing a lot of oppositions, which as an evaluation sort of phase, I'm ultimately pleased with where my thoughts are at in terms of myself versus my relationship. So it can be just a really great kind of check in for like your immediate things. Because Mercury just moves. So but enough mercurial stuff. Let's get into the lunar shenanigans. Because on the 12th of February, the moon is going to be entering into Virgo at about 5:08 p.m. That's going to be Pacific time. And we're in a waning gibbous phase. And now the waning gibbous is where we're just coming off that full moon magic. And we're getting ready to get into the reflective stage. This is kind of like the calm after the storm, the adjustment period. This is, I think, a really great time for even sharing in the appreciation for taking the effort to want to correct something in your life. Having that, developing a newer sense of awareness that there's more in your control maybe than you realize. Maybe that's what came with this full moon here. But I think there's a great think for giving thanks for the process, and even just like talking with some friends. I think that sharing in what you've been going through, what you've been growing through, the things that maybe you've been kind of, maybe you're doing some stuff behind the scenes and now is ready to kind of be revealed and talked about. So, but when you talk about just Virgo energy in general, Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so there's a strong mind that comes with them. And Virgo is just like, they're really great with just kind of the earthly matters. They're the problem solvers. But I find that Virgo too really benefits because they have such an active mind and they're receiving all these downloads that Virgo I think has it's very beneficial to make sure that you're connecting with the body. And that could be just making sure that I live with a Virgo. And then just, I find Virgo, and even Gemini sometimes, but I think Virgo can be kind of snacky. They won't eat like big meals, but just like little things throughout the day. And it's like, that's fine. But it's just like, what are you eating? Like chips and donuts and things, that's not going to be, it can't be sustainable. That may have worked when you were a kid. But I think just making sure that you're getting wholesome meals, making sure you're taking time to get outside, working with plants can be a very beneficial kind of earthy thing to do. Doing some yoga, doing some light stretches, or even making sure to do like a workout or going for a jog or any sort of like things. And, even self care just on a base level, especially if maybe you've been feeling a little down. This could be just be getting back on, maybe it's been a minute since you showered. Go shower, go brush your teeth, maybe go get a haircut, maybe go buy yourself some new clothes. Something to learn. Maybe repurpose some clothes. Maybe learn how to sew. Virgo's very practical. Learn how to sew and then make something, turn something new, whatever that's looking like. But those are just some ways that I think like you could work with the Virgo energy. And I find sometimes like getting in that routine can just help you get, especially if you've been feeling in a funk, it can help you get out of whatever problems that you were maybe dealing with that have been maybe occupying your mind, get you back into just the reality, just like, okay, let me get to this. And then when you go back to the topic, you're coming with a fresher perspective, in a sense, I think, in what can happen here. So just some things I think to think about with this energy. But if this is something that you want to work more closely with, kind of track the lunar cycles. Maybe you have your moon in Virgo coming up on a lunar return. Those are very, very beneficial. I'm in a spiritual one right now, and I'm living it up. The spirit's strong. But if you want to work with these more intentionally, down in the description box below is a link for all the services that I provide. So avail yourself of that. And I actually have a newer one that I'm going to be incorporating in the mix here soon. So just pay attention to that. And I'll make an announcement for that as things come up there. But yeah, let's go ahead and switch over here. And then last little thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings. So apply these readings to people as they make sense for your situations. And before we get into this thing, I'm gonna bring in some nice vibes in here to just cleanse the air for spirits. So just evaluate me if you need to, but let's get into this thing. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, look at that. Fresh starts. You got the Fool here. And I do think that for some, the Fool is this leaping into uncharted territory. It gives me even kind of sometimes like North Node vibes every now and again. Especially right now, this is what I'm feeling. So considering that the North Node and the South Node just entered into new signs, if you haven't looked at that, see where these may be highlighting, or what themes these are highlighting by house or houses for you. So yeah, just something, just a little side note there. But the Fool, I think, is looking for maybe even a break in the routine with this kind of Virgo energy that's going on. Maybe things have become maybe a little too predictable, a little too mundane. Like maybe you've gotten back on track, but now it's time to bring some excitement in the mix. Is something that I'm kind of getting with this Full energy. Not even necessarily something like super big, but just like maybe like I was saying, you want to learn sewing. Maybe there has been holes that have been racking up in jeans, or you're just like, all right, let's do something about that. Or I'm even getting here because the Fool card can be air energy, and just thinking about the adventure of air through the majors, there could be this decision that can be that's something that's wanting to shift. Maybe this is like a hope, maybe this is some sort of, like I wish I had more time to read, or maybe I wish I had more time to cook or prep things. And it's like making that decision to start up this new, whatever this endeavor may be here. I'm also getting to that if you're getting ready to make a sort of leap or make some kind of attempt here, just remember where you've been. That even kind of calls back to that north node south node thing, and it's not to say that you can't make this leap here, but sometimes the Fool can be just kind of looking ahead, looking to jump into excitement and not assessing their surroundings in a sense. So there's just a little something there, I think, just to kind of pay attention to. But let's get some tarot on this. Get a more into this story. Let's see what's going on here. Nice, I'm with it. All right, so you got the Six of Wands here. And this to me, I think there's an energy here of needing like a small win right now. The Six of Wands can be for me, this one is more so kind of like not necessarily like a big win that's coming on right now, but it's just like doing like little things for yourself, like maybe making more time to maybe making more time for some downtime. Maybe at the end of the night you make some tea and you're reading a book, or you're just kind of listening to the night sounds around you, or maybe you go for a little night walk after your dinner, or maybe this is making that workout, or it's maybe getting back to that friend, or getting back to that email, maybe whatever this may be. I think that there's a need for just an accumulation of some small wins right now, so that so that when a big door opens, that you're more ready to jump through something here. Because it's like when you're on that feeling, when you're on that, like things are just on this uptick, it's just like you feel more open to opportunities, is what I'm getting here. Let's get a clarifier with that. All right, so you got the Prince of Cups here. And I think there are some strong feelings about, and this feels more kind of a personal thing, where something is feeling a little bottled up here, like it's wanting to be expressed, it's wanting to be, yeah, it's something that's wanting to be expressed. The Prince of Cups is a very, very passionate knight. He's the knights are looking to this sense of accomplishment here. They're always seeking this higher goal here, and that's what I'm getting. Like, I think that there's something that's calling with this Prince of Cups, something that's been maybe nagging, and it could be, again, just like I've been wishing I could make more time to do this, or maybe the Six of Wands is like you're seeing someone else just kind of enjoying themselves, just kind of going through life. And again, it's like maybe they've been taking more time for some trips, or maybe they've, been going to just like different places, or maybe they've been just like trying different food, or been getting involved in different groups. And you're just like, yeah, I just want to experience some things a little bit, just kind of feel alive. Just something's wanting to, yeah, flower with the Prince of Cups. That's very interesting. Let's get some more on that. Interesting. All right, so you got the Five of Pentacles here, and maybe their reason, again, it's I think that there's been a lot of worry possibly that's been going on with the Five of Pentacles. There's been this maybe stress that's been going on, this wanting to maybe feel this thrill or this new, just new, some new fresh energy, but it's just like, well, I can't do this. Like, well, maybe when I'm at this thing, or and when this situation here happens, or when this thing happens, then I'll allow myself to do this, as opposed to doing something maybe. It's like, okay, I want to go to school to become a lawyer, but maybe I don't have the resources to do that right now. I need to save up, but I could at least start maybe investing in some books, possibly, maybe seeing what curriculum may be covered and just learning that way. Maybe this could be just watching different, maybe YouTubers or different sources on the internet, just to get familiar, learn different kind of cases, study those types of things. There are, I think, there are resourceful ways of working with hmm it's like working with what you got, not thinking about what you don't have. There are the things that you're building up towards. The Five of Pentacles can be too, this, again, this concern about something that's getting ready to come. And maybe you had just been feeling like you had been feeling maybe on like an upswing of things, and this is just like, it's almost like worrying about, okay, when's the shoe gonna drop, or when are things going to, it's bound to happen. Like, not even really enjoying the win, almost afraid to fully celebrate in the win for the fear that something maybe will be taken away. And I think that when the Prince of Cups focuses on those sort of like those, that feeling again of like a fear or anxiety and stuff, then he just attracts those things, and that's where he maybe consciously or unconsciously just finds himself going towards again, because that's just what they're expecting. And this is, if this is not you, then this might be someone maybe around you, possibly, that might be just bringing a lot of strong emotions in the mix here, who might be, because I'm thinking in the Rider White deck, there's a figure in the Six of Wands that's giving the person on the horse a bit of a side eye. And it might not be something malicious, but they may just be like, oh, well, like that kind of misery likes company, in a sense. But let's get a clarifier on this. Get some details. Interesting. That's a lot going on there. Thanks. Let's see. So you got the Nine of Swords here, and as you see here, this is a card of cruelty. This is a Lord of Cruelty. He's doing a lot, and I think that this just feels like a really destructive pocket. This seems like kind of like spiral type of energy here, and I think that Six of Wands is a need again to bring in something to break this funk here. This could be going out with some, like maybe with the friend, just something to get you out of your head. Yeah, because like the Five of Pentacles is not necessarily that you're in this, just in the state of destitute, but I think when we get in sort of that panic mode, that just sort of like that almost kind of like that self-fulfilling prophecies, where you Scorpio type like energy, where I think the lower expressions of Scorpio, when Scorpio is meant to move through emotions, but when it gets locked on one and it gets stuck on something that's just like bringing it down, they become this really powerful magnet. And yeah, like that's something here. If you can find different ways, maybe this is like working out, but so, like, I'm even getting here that maybe a certain situation might be bringing this sort of expectations for just like doom and gloom or something, something along those lines. And So this fool maybe need to bounce. You know, this fool maybe need to think about how to exit a certain situation here. I think Virgo energy sometimes can get into like, how do I fix it? How do I fix it? How do I fix it? But eventually you can't. There's certain things you just got to scrap, you know, and that's where Scorpio comes in. And like you think about like in the body, where Virgo is kind of like the intestines, then Scorpio is the exit chutes. They're just getting rid of it. So there's just something in there I think to just pay attention to as well. Let's get another card on this. Interesting. So you got the King of Cups here. And the King of Cups, he's emotional maturity, but that's not to say where he can't get caught up sometimes. And that's interesting that you got both the Prince, or the Prince is the in the thought the deck, are the Knights in other decks. And so you got father and son here. And I think that this is, if this is something that you're resonating with, that this is you evolving into that sense of going towards your happiness, knowing that you can't stay in a situation that it's even kind of futile to stay in because what's the point of, yes, life fluctuates in things, but just staying in that lower spiral, I think it just keeps bringing on these extreme swings, you know. And the King of Cups is one that's gone through a lot. He's felt through a lot. And, where I got that caveat with the Fool, just about getting beat, just kind of aware of the environment. I think there's something about being aware of how you're moving. Just because you just thinking too, depending when you're watching this, Mars still retro. He's finishing up his retrograde in Cancer. But we still got like a little over a couple, about, when is he going to be? About 11 days or so. And I just think of paying attention to what you've learned, what's come up for you, and how to use these, maybe these feelings that have been coming up for here. This Nine of Swords, Five of Pentacles, that is a tough combination. How to how to learning, like what was going on there. I think that there's not staying in it, but yeah, just remembering what caused that source so that it doesn't keep repeating. Because the King of Cups, I think, is one that can get a little caught up sometimes in order to feel when he's noticing that he's dipping here, could escape potentially. This the King of Cups is could be a tricky one so sometimes. But let's get a clarifier on that. And look at Virgo. So here's the Hermit. Virgo energy here. And I think that there is, and especially with the King of Cups here, that's looking pretty deep. Those are, and it's not drowning in the emotions with the King of Cups, but I think that there's, in order to move through something, you have to feel it, to heal it, to seal it. But I think that comes through these sort of regular practices. Maybe doing different, if you find yourself in that kind of doom spiral, finding, doing different affirmations to get you out of this stuff. Or even this hermit might even need to kind of look outside. Maybe you've been too caught up in here and just needs to do something that can pull you out of that experience for the moment so that you can get some perspective, observing the observer or something that's coming through with that. Let's get some advice from Mercury. Oh, look at this. Got the King of Pentacles here. And the King of Cups, or excuse me, the King of Pentacles, I find, is one, he's aware he's aware of his flaws, but by having the courage to put in the work, to show up each day, to get grounded, to really see a situation for what it is, and then, yeah, just having the valor, the will to face something. And I get it. So he calls on his experiences, and there's a lot to gain from that. I'm getting a very, because this is one of Virgo's cards too. He's got some Virgo energy going on in his that he's related to. And so, yeah, even considering all of this Virgo kind of energy coming through, I'd even say, like, looking at what Virgo energy means for you. See where you have Virgo in your chart. How that again. That's where the South Node is. So this is calling on that, or just maybe understanding what your relationship with Virgo energy. That might even be something that could potentially be helpful here. Let's get a clarifier with that. All right, so you have the Ten of Swords here. And let's go ahead and switch over. Because for me, this Ten of Swords is... The nice thing with the tens is that things are finished. We were at the Nine of Swords where things had just been building and building and building. And maybe now this Ten of Swords is the thing has happened. Or you just maybe even feel like you're just at this real low. But now all you can do is go up from here. The tens, now we got to get just recalibrated. Just get back in the flow of things. And if you've been feeling, because they have that Nine of Swords, Ten of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, even, it's just like a situation, an environment, maybe like even a condition or something has just like led to this just kind of dead end spot. And now it's time to, again, the Fool is starting something new, starting something fresh, having the King of Pentacles is giving me, you're not sure how it may look, but it's able to get realized, or it's able to come to, you're able to resolve a certain situation here, come through more on top, more prosperous, more, if not anything else, more wise. And sometimes that could be like, oh, what about wisdom? But wisdom can go a long way. Because if you're not wise, you just know a lot. And you can know a lot and keep doing the same old stuff and stay in the same old cycles. All right, but I think that is all I got for you there. So something to meditate on. But if you like that, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this if you know somebody who gets some nuggets of wisdom from this. And then subscribe to their King of Cups. Hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each day. And now I'm going to shuffle for your surprise card or cards here. But if you want to know what's going on with the other celestial bodies in the sky, on my other channel, Alchemist 8, down in the description box, so you can click a link for that. And I do weekly videos there. And just going over the transits, how to work with them, just some food for thought there, and you just get you looking at your chart differently. Try to make this as practical and as grounded as possible. And then I also do planetary placement videos on there. It's about different planets and different signs and different houses. And again, just some things to think about if you have these placements. And keep in mind, too, that I've had a couple people who've made requests for different placements. So if you see, I have them all in playlists. So if you see one or don't see yours in there, or if you even want me to go more in depth on a particular placement, leave a comment. I definitely will. I'll get to it. I'm usually pretty good about getting on those ones. So there's that for you. But let's go ahead and get into your surprise card here. Interesting. I had a couple of things here. So you have the Frog here. And this is a card of cleaning house and releasing emotional baggage. And this is the 14th card, which is Temperance card energy. Something to think about there. That sort of... I think that cleaning house... And that may be what this Fool is. It's just like something... there's a need for a fresh start. The energy is needing to move. This cleaning house could be maybe rearranging some stuff around your place if you've been feeling like things have been kind of same old, same old. And even just like seeing that, because I'm even getting, even though it's not quite here, I'm thinking about the Hanged Man in how when you hang upside down, it literally puts everything in a different perspective. But something about rearranging some things maybe it's not your house. Maybe you just like rearrange some stuff on your desk, possibly, or maybe do something with your room. Maybe you switch how the clothes are hung up, or whatever that's. Maybe switch clothes in a drawer, but there is something how you did get the Hermit clarifying the King of Cups. There may be some things that you're holding on to as well that are maybe weighing you down. And when cleaning house, sometimes you got to look at stuff and it's just like, what's your job? What are you doing here? Are you adding any value? And if not, then you're on notice. You're on notice, and it's time to you got to move on. Especially if you've nothing that you can learn from this situation anymore. And I'm just thinking too, as someone who's moved around quite a bit, you carry that stuff where you got a bunch of stuff that it's amazing when you go to move, you realize how much stuff you have. And there are those moments where it's just like, and I've had situations where I've had to part with some things where it's just like, man, like I really like you, but I can't, like it just, there's too much that I would have to sacrifice to make for you. So there's something there where it may hurt or at first, but eventually put distance and time time with it, and then you're fine. Then you got something else to worry about, so or to grow through. But all right, I think that's all I got for you there. But until next time, stay mindful out there. Keep eyes on that moon, and I will catch you on the next one, Saturday.